video is going to be a lot of me talking because I just feel like this year I've learned so much about navigating breakups and relationships and heartbreak and losing friends. And I just feel like I have so much that I've journaled about this year and so much that I've learned that I want to share and just document and like have it out somewhere. And most of the lessons that I've learned have pertained to my internal landscape, not as much to anything external. But we'll start with the external things. First of all, we are thinking of this breakup as a movie. Like, this helps me so much. It's crazy. When I'm really, really sad or really heartbroken or really going through something, I just imagine myself in a movie. And this is just part of the movie. This is the part of the plot where I'm sitting on the couch crying, watching romantic comedies, eating takeout, and just dwelling on my sadness. Like, this is just that part of the plot. And this part of the plot is super important because it leads to the part where she finds herself and she gains the energy to be working out consistently and taking really good care of herself, you know? Like, this is going to bring us closer to ourselves. And so I just think about it as just part of the plot. And, you know, the hard parts of the plot are important parts of the plot, okay? So we're thinking about it as a movie from this point forward. First of all, you need to take care of yourself. So get out of bed, make your bed, and let's start planning out what we need to do to make ourselves feel productive. For me, I went on multiple bike rides. I just started biking a lot. I made little playlists for myself. I went on runs. I was just trying to be outside as much as possible. I ended up biking 20 miles, which is like a lot for me. I've never biked 20 miles before. And then once I got to my destination, I ran a mile, and I ran the fastest mile that I've ever run. So, you know, just making little strides that make me feel super good about myself. I made my little biking playlist. I packed my basket full of all the things that I would need for the day. And I just pretended like I was a 14-year-old girl running away from home. We're running away from home today. This is our starter pack. Journal. Duh. We're gonna be journaling like crazy today. I've already journaled about this situation. Crazy. And I'm gonna journal more because it brings me comfort. It provides me with answers. Obviously, we're reading All About Love by Bell Hooks, and we're bringing the book with us. Duh. I am going to be putting it in my crossbody bag, and I am going to also go on a jog with this bag on with my stuff in the bag. So that's why I'm trying to travel as light as possible. And then, of course, the AirPods. And the first song we're going to be listening to on the bike ride is going to be You Broke My Heart by Drake. Okay? When I was biking to my destination, I kept thinking about how difficult the bike ride back home was going to be. This thought led me to question if I should even go to my destination because I was going to be struggling so hard on the way back. Ultimately, I realized that the anticipation of the pain that was going to be coming would not impact how painful it would be to bike back home. Does that make sense? Like, no matter how much thought I put into the challenge of biking back home, it's not going to change how difficult it really will be once I'm doing it. So this thought just made me kind of let go of any fears and anxieties about the futures and just enjoy the ride to my destination, knowing that I'm not going to have this ease on my way back. And it just reminded me that I can deal with the hurt when it comes, and I don't have to be anticipating it and being anxious about it. I felt like this series of thoughts was super fitting for where I was at while I was biking, which is, you know, thinking about how badly it's going to be hurting to lose somebody again. I just got home. I ended up biking 20 miles, and then I only ran 1 mile. I wanted to try to run 2 miles, but running is really fucking hard for me. So I only ran 1 mile. Now I'm gonna shower and get cozy, and we're gonna talk more. Okay, the next thing you're gonna do is give yourself a little freshen up or a little glow up. For me, I cut my hair for the first time in at least 7 years. Like, this is my first haircut of my 20s. I mean, I've cut my own hair, but I've never, like, it's been so long since I've gotten my hair professionally cut. So this was super exciting. A huge, like, overcoming of a fear because I hate getting my hair cut because I'm so attached to it. I also bought some new clothes. when I'm buying clothes in a time like this, I'm really thinking about what can I get that's going to represent my individuality and take me away from feeling like connected to whoever I'm losing. Does that make sense? Because, like you spend a lot of time with somebody, you take on their traits. I feel like finding and developing your own style after losing somebody is very empowering. So we're going to do that, okay? But shop responsibly. Don't be buying anything off of Shein or Temu or whatever the fuck else, okay? Shop responsibly, secondhand if you want to, Not to shame, just be as responsible in your consumption as possible. Another thing that I wanted to touch on that I kind of, had a realization about again is just my perception of myself physically. And when I was biking, I kept passing people and thinking about oh, what are people thinking when they see my face? And did they see my acne scars? And are they, thinking that I look a certain way because of my acne scars? And is that the first thing people see about me? And I'm in my head thinking all these things. And I found myself going back and forth about whether I look good or bad, like objectively good or bad. And then I just started getting frustrated with myself because I was like, I am just trying to fucking have a chill day and bike, and my brain is doing the most. And so in my moment of frustration, I said, I just look like this. Like, it's not good. It's not bad. It's just how I look, and that's it. And I feel like that is just such an empowering way of thinking for me. Like, it doesn't matter if you think I look good or if you think I look bad. Like, this is just how I look. And eventually, I'm not going to look like this. Eventually, I'm going to decay, degrade, be dead. Like, I'm not going to look like this. And this is going to be the thing that mattered the least about me. So spending my time focusing on something external and focusing on something that I really don't care about and I don't want to give energy to is only taking away from my experience in this life and my presence and my relationship with myself. And so thinking about that at a time like this, I feel is super important because it just reminds you that you do not need any external validation, and you don't need somebody to be consistently telling you how pretty you look or making you feel beautiful from outside of yourself. I think that was the hardest thing for me when I went through my breakup was who's going to tell me that I'm pretty, and who's going to make me feel like a beautiful girl every single day. But I don't need that. I know that I am just this is just how I am and who I am. And my confidence can be derived from so many places besides my external appearance. Okay, the next thing we're going to do and the next shift in thinking that needs to happen is this is now an opportunity for you to deepen relationships with other people in your life that matter to you. For me, it's my family members. So when I was in a relationship, I feel like, I would go on my family vacations and I would always bring my partner with me, and my siblings had their partners there. And it's just fun because we all have somebody. And now going on vacations with my family, I do feel like I'm missing that, not having my partner with me on these family trips has only allowed me to deepen my relationship with my parents. And while my siblings are with their partners and doing, their little adventures with their people, I can invite my mom to be my person. These last few days while I've been kind of, going through things again, I've just taken it as an opportunity to hang out with my dad a lot. And we went and saw a comet together, and we made pizza together. We went grocery shopping together. And these little moments just mean so much to me because I know in the future there's going to come a time when I look back on these moments and I'm grateful to myself for the time that I allotted to make sure my parents felt my presence. And I know that family dynamics can be super triggering to a lot of people, which only makes me more grateful that I have a family dynamic where I can actually spend time with my family. But for you, if you don't have a good relationship with your family, or, it's triggering to be around them, you can deepen your relationships with other people in your life, like your friends or, your chosen family, whatever it is. Okay, next. We are finding a new hobby, okay? We're giving our attention to something new. For me, and I'm really, 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 really excited to say this, I have been wanting to ride a horse forever. And the past few months, I just can't stop thinking about horses. I'm thinking about it all the fucking time. And I think about my dream of sitting on a horse while it's galloping and just having my AirPods in and going fast. So I started doing research, trying to find classes, and I finally found one. So I'm going to start horseback riding soon. And this is just like bringing so much life into me. Like, I'm so excited. I can't stop talking about it. I can't stop thinking about it. And it's giving me something to think about besides boys, you know? Anyway, because all I can think about is riding a horse. And yeah, I'm just crazy excited. If there is a hobby that you've been wanting to do that you may now have the time to do because you're not, invested in somebody else, take the time. Like, give yourself something super excited to look forward to. Wait, did that sentence make sense? Give yourself something that you're super excited to look forward to. And just something to occupy your brain space that is not, like, there's just so much to be excited about despite like the pain that we might be going through. Okay, next. It is super important that we embrace our solitude. For me, when I'm spending a lot of time by myself, I feel like my journal becomes my best friend. I write like fucking crazy. I'm like, every thought that pops into my head, I'm writing down. I've been journaling since I was like 7 or 8 years old. I genuinely believe the reason I think the way that I do and the reason I'm able to be as compassionate and understanding and calm as I am is because of the fact that I journal so much. Because journaling has just allowed me to see on paper what I'm thinking, what I'm experiencing, and then analyze my own thoughts and experiences and see what thought patterns do I like, what thought patterns do I not like, what do I want to change about myself, all on an internal level, which then translates into my actions and the way that I show up in the world, which becomes who I am. A lot of the time I open my journal with like nothing to say, but the moment the pen touches paper, it's like everything just pours out of me. And oftentimes it feels like something higher than me is like being channeled through me and speaking to me on my own journal pages. It is just such a spiritual and crazy experience for me. And the last thing I feel like I really wanted to talk about is just how you think and process your breakup. Be really considerate of how you're thinking and be really considerate of how you're moving. Through these hard times, you just want to make sure that you are moving in a way that's as true to yourself and as helpful to yourself as possible. It could be easy to move toxic after a negative situation occurs, but you can remind yourself that you don't have to be toxic. If somebody disrespected you, you don't have to disrespect them. Remind yourself that there's a point to this pain, and for me, the main point is to keep my softness. Whenever I do feel really sad or melancholy, I find myself like sitting in different ways. Like I sit with like my spine straighter and I'm not on my phone as much because I'm feeling so many things. I can't really be on my phone. I find myself looking around a lot more and observing strangers more. I feel a way deeper sense of sonder when I'm in a really melancholy state. And I think all of that just forces me to move in more wholesome ways, which I appreciate. And so because of that, I'm always grateful for the moments where I feel really melancholy because it just has me moving really slow and sweet. I think this sweet energy allows me to look at perspectives from a more neutral and objective place. I really try not to villainize the other person regardless of whatever they did, especially because I just view the people in my life and just people in general as human beings who are capable of making mistakes, but also capable of learning from their mistakes. And so I just try to be as understanding as possible. But in your understanding, that doesn't mean you have to allow them to continue to hurt you or allow them to walk all over you again. It can just be like, I understand why you did what you did and I forgive you, but like I can no longer be in your life, and that to me is the most like peaceful way to bow out of a situation for yourself and for that person. Just allowing them the space and opportunity and grace to grow, but also allowing yourself the space to stay out of situations that are potentially hurtful to you. I feel like I also think in this way because I don't think that it benefits me to allow my thoughts and feelings to swing from one end of the spectrum to another end. Does that make sense? Like, it doesn't benefit you to be looking at the situation from an absolute, when in reality, things are nuanced and yeah, like a person can do a bad thing and not be a bad person. And I think being imbalanced in your emotions and in your headspace make it harder to move in a calm and productive way. I hope that what I'm saying makes sense. But I'm just trying to say, like, I don't think it's going to benefit you to be hating anybody. And also, we don't need to be talking shit about people. Give them the respect that they didn't give you. And just remove yourself from the situation. Like, be the bigger person always. Okay? We can do that. We're strong enough to be the bigger person. I promise. Remind yourself that being a forgiving person, it benefits you. Like, this is beneficial to you. Regardless of what anybody has ever done to me, I choose to forgive everybody. Genuinely, like through and through, I forgive you 1000% because I do not have the energy or capacity to carry any grudges or hate. And like, I don't have it in me to not see you as a human being, like a flawed human being. I just don't have that. So I forgive you for whatever you did. And I find it really easy to be a forgiving person because I just trust the universe so deeply. And if I'm with somebody and something goes wrong, I just know like you're not the person for me. And it only makes me, I mean, it hurts me, but even through all of my pain, like I feel genuine gratitude about the fact that like I am now going to be closer to myself and now closer to finding the person that I'm meant to be with. I know I'm just being led to a better version of myself, and I just feel excited for the upcoming changes. It really is like when I'm going through anything tough, my pain is interrupted by my gratitude because I am just grateful to be experiencing human emotions. I'm grateful for anything that is going to bring me closer to myself. I'm grateful for anything that's going to make me softer and sweeter and more understanding of a person. It comes so naturally to me. Like when I'm in pain, I really am thinking about how this is going to shape future Julie and how future me is just going to be so grateful for the lessons that I've learned. And I just always know I'm going to be okay, and that trust never wavers. So yeah. This has been such a long video, and I know it's a lot of rambling, but it's just like, these are things that I've learned. These are thought patterns that I have. And yeah, the last thing I want to say, if you're going through a breakup or losing anybody, like, and this is going to be the most important thing that I say in this video, do not listen to Frank Ocean. Don't fucking do it. Like, spare yourself the emotional turmoil. Don't fucking put on Blonde. Don't do it. Do not listen to the remixed version of White Ferrari from Coachella. Don't fucking do it. If you got through this video, thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that the things that I said make sense. And I hope that maybe you learned something or gathered information that might make it easier for you to go through any loss that you're experiencing. And I hope that you find the silver linings and the miracles in all of the pain. So, yeah. Love ya. Bye.